Good afternoon, folks. Today is Monday, August 15th. Yeah, August 15th of the year 2022. So I wanted to share a message with you guys. I want to read a parable, and then I want to share the message that I got, or what was on my heart, and what brought this parable to mind. So I'm going to read the parable of the Good Samaritan. Okay. I believe you can find it in Luke chapter 10, verses 25 through 37. So the parable goes, and this is Jesus speaking. He says, "And behold, a certain lawyer stood up and tested him, saying, 'Teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?' And he, being Jesus, said to him, 'What is written in the law? What is your reading of it?' So he answered and said, 'You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself.' And he said to him," this being Jesus, "You have answered rightly. Do this, and you will live." But he," meaning the Good Samaritan, "wanting to justify himself, said to Jesus, 'And who is my neighbor?' Then Jesus answered and said, 'A certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, who stripped him of his clothing, wounded him, and departed, leaving him for dead. Now by chance a certain priest came down that road, and when he saw him, he passed on the other side. Likewise, a Levite, when he arrived at the place, came and looked, and passed by on the other side also. But a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. So he went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring oil and wine, and he set him on his own animal and brought him to an inn and took care of him. On the next day when he departed, he took out 2 denarii, which is the equivalent of 2 days' worth of work, I believe, gave them to the innkeeper and said to him, 'Take care of him, and whatever more you spend, when I come again, I will repay you.' So which of these 3," Jesus asked, "do you think was a neighbor to him who had fallen among thieves?" And he said, "He who showed mercy on him," being the Good Samaritan. So this parable, I titled this message, this video, "Are you the thief? Are you the priest, the Levite, or are you the Good Samaritan?" I think we all like to think that we are the Good Samaritan. But in reality, I believe that the vast majority of time, most of us, if not all of us, are not the Good Samaritan. We are the Levite and we are the priest. Living in a city, and being so close to New York City, I've had many opportunities to go to New York City, and many of the cities in the metropolitan area, heavily populated cities such as Philadelphia, Newark, New Jersey, Jersey City, anywhere in New York. I've seen many homeless people out in the streets, and I have compassion for them, and I feel pity, and it touches my heart. But sadly and unfortunately, I can't help them all. We can't help them all. So I'm gonna share a story, something that happened to me recently, and I shared this with my wife yesterday. We were blessed with the opportunity to go on vacation last week, and one of the things that we did on one day was we did a day trip to Savannah, Georgia, which is a beautiful city. I've been there before, but in my last visit, we did many of the guided tours. And it's funny how those guided tours keep you away from the reality of the city. They only take you and show you the historic parts, and they don't show you the people of the city. Well, when we went this past week, we decided not to do the tours, and we decided to walk on our own, me, my wife, and my children. And we were walking around, and I saw many homeless people laying about in the squares, on benches, in the streets, against the walls. And as my wife and I and my son and my daughter, we were walking, there was this one gentleman, and he had a sign, "Help me to buy my insulin." Now, was that sign genuine? I don't know. I don't know if it was genuine. So we just passed by him. And then on our way back, again, he was there. And instinctively, what the four of us did, which I feel shameful right now for doing this, instinctively, we crossed the street. We did what the priests and we did what the Levite did. We crossed the street. Because now there wasn't only that one homeless man, but there were others there. And as I said, we can't help them all. But the one thing that we can do is we can pray for them. And it saddens me to see how many of these towns, which are tourist destinations, they spend so much money in keeping the historic part of it beautiful, and keeping the government buildings beautiful, and keeping the docks and where all the tourist shops are and the boats and everything beautiful. But yet, what do they do to take care of these people? Many of them were, like I said, just laying on the ground in parks and in squares, and it's very sad. But my purpose for this video is to let you know that we are called to be good Samaritans whenever we can. And like I said, I understand we can't always be, because there are many shysters out there. I don't believe people look at homeless people as they're all out there, because they're lazy bums, because they don't care, because this and that. And that's not the case. That's probably maybe a very small percentage of that population. I truly believe that the vast majority of homeless people are there not because they want to be, but because they've been handed a bad hand. They've been, given a bad hand, or bad choices that they've made, or whatever may happen. So we can't look on people that way. We have to look on them, as Jesus said, with compassion. And if we can't help them at that moment, we should at least pray for them. Maybe not there, but when you are in your prayer closet, you should pray for them. Lord, that homeless man, that homeless lady, that homeless family, the homeless who are out there, the people who are less fortunate, those who don't have a meal today, those who don't have a roof over their head today, I pray for them. Lord, I couldn't provide for them, but I know that you can make a way for them. You can make a way for them through the community. You can make a way for them through organizations. And that's the other thing. We can't help them all, but we can help those who will help them. Organizations, charities. And at the same time, I highly suggest, if you're going to pick a charity you're going to donate to, that you research, find out what the charity does. Because there are many charities out there who sadly are not given what should be given to the cause that it's for. Maybe 10 cents out of every dollar goes to it, which is sad. I donate to certain charities, but I've researched it, and I researched who's on the board, what they do, how long they've been around, if there's any bad reviews about them and things like that. So I suggest that you do that. So anyway, we are called to be good Samaritans whenever we can. And as Pastor Charles Stanley has said many times before, the Lord blesses us so that we may bless others through the blessings that He has given us. Sorry about that. I had to turn on my truck to close the window because there are two dogs there and they're chasing each other. So anyway, I had another verse, some other verses that I wanted to share. It was about when Jesus said that the least of these, when He called the least of these, and He was saying, when I was in prison, you didn't visit me. When I was hungry, you didn't feed me. When I was thirsty, you didn't give me a cup of water. And the disciples asked Him, well, when did we see you like that, Lord? When did we see you? And Jesus says, when you didn't do or did, because He also goes about, He talks about the righteous people who do give Him a cup of water and this. He talks about the least of these, those are the less fortunate, the needy, the poor in this world. So we are to pray and ask the Lord that if He opens doors for us, and that we will be obedient in doing what He calls us to do. So I want to close my video with one thing. Remember what Hebrews 13:2 says. Hebrews 13:2 says, do not forget to entertain strangers. A homeless person, anybody you see you don't know, is a stranger. For by doing so, some have unwittingly entertained angels. So you don't know who you're reaching out to. You don't know the people that you're touching and how you're helping them. Can it be the Lord testing us, testing our hearts? Yes. Yes, I believe that at times it is. There have been many opportunities in my life where I look back on them like, wow, it's like I missed that opportunity. I missed that door that the Lord opened for me to walk through, to be obedient, to help others, to even share the gospel. It doesn't have necessarily to be food, money, or clothing, but even to share the gospel. Out of maybe fear of being rejected, out of selfishness, whatever it may be, I missed those doors. But I'm grateful and I'm humbled that the Lord continues to open doors for me, just like He continues to open doors for you, to share the good news, to share the abundance that the Lord has given unto you. So my brothers and sisters, I pray that when you see those less fortunate out there, in love and kindness, that you will reach out to them. Give them whatever you have. If you have a piece of bread, if you have, a clothing article, if you have $1, share it with them. I had something happen to me once. I saw a homeless person, and my brother was with me in a car, and I opened the window and I gave the homeless person, forget whatever it was, $1, $5, whatever it does. It doesn't matter how much it was. I gave him something. And my brother made a comment. He's like, oh, that's stupid. Why would you do that? He's going to go and spend it on drugs. He's going to go spend it on alcohol. Well, my response to my brother was, listen, I'm just being obedient and doing what the Lord is calling me to do. What that person does with that money is totally on them, okay? So I'm just being obedient, and I pray that this person is receiving that money in good faith, because I always say, God bless you, and use this money wisely for what you need. And that's all I got to do. We can't worry about what others are going to do or what we do. Just like I can't worry about what others might say about this video that I post or the channel that I've been, pushing forth for the last 7 or 8 months. I can't worry about that. At one point I was worried about it. I was worrying about how many subscribers I had or how many reviews I had. I'm not at that point anymore. I don't care if only 5 people watch this video, because I believe that the Lord will lead the people that need to hear this to this video. So with that being said, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I humbly ask that you subscribe to my channel and that you will share this video with other people out there, so that the algorithm could push it forward to people who do need to hear this message. With that, I'll let you guys go, and I pray that you have a nice day. God bless you.